If you want to listen to all of the episodes from this series right now, and ad-free, plus a whole host of extra fan club benefits, head to museumofpopculture.supportingcast.fm. Hello and welcome. I am Josh Widdicombe. For today, I'm the curator of a place of incredible artefacts and exhibitions, a place that stores the greatest thing on earth. This is my Museum of Pop Culture. As a self-confessed pop culture obsessive, I love the geniuses, the scam artists, and dare I say it, the absolute madmen that have made the records, shows and films that we love. In each series, I will tell you a story of unlikely triumph and usually an enjoyably crushing failure, featuring celebrated stars that in any other industry would probably be politely sacked. It's a show for people more interested in David Hasselhoff than David Lammy, Elizabeth Taylor than Queen Elizabeth I, which, let's be honest, is all of us. Joining me today to discuss the amazing story of the most famous girl group in the world, the Spice Girls, of course, is comedian and friend Suzi Ruffell.
Remember, do not underestimate the power of PlayStation.
This latest panic is bound to hit beef sales. It was triggered last week by the discovery that a cat has developed a disease similar to BSE.
Bad for Army. It's a bit of an animal.
Here's Gascoigne. Brilliant play! Oh! Take a bow!
Britain in the mid-1990s. A country caught between the past and something new.
Well, there were three of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded.
The grey echoes of recession still linger as the Conservatives cling to power.
John Major's government has effectively lost its majority in the House of Commons.
But beneath the surface, a cultural storm is building and a new optimism is rising. Oasis and Blur are battling it out as Britpop takes indie music from the pub back rooms to the newspaper front pages.
There's little love lost between the two groups who view each other with derision.
And Tony Blair's New Labour brings hope to the nation.
Ask me my three main priorities for government, and I tell you, education, education, and education.
And then, in the summer of 1996, five girls burst onto the scene with one message the world could not ignore.
Hi, we're the Spice Girls.
This is about girl power.
The Spice Girls weren't just a band. They were the biggest pop phenomenon since Beatlemania.
Only last week they met Princes Charles and Harry in South Africa.
A global pop culture takeover with a manifesto. They weren't just topping charts, they were rewriting the rules.
In less than a year, the Spice Girls have literally taken off. They've sold 10 million albums worldwide.
Each one became an icon. Sporty, scary, baby, posh, ginger. From Union Jack dresses to Brit Awards, from number one singles to rendezvous with football superstars, they became tabloid royalty overnight.
The Spice Girls arrived in style just minutes ago to light up Oxford Street for the festive season.
But fame moves fast and pressure moves faster. Behind the platinum albums and the stadium lights, cracks began to show. The sheer weight of celebrity and being the biggest band on earth quickly took its toll.
Geri Halliwell, otherwise known as Ginger Spice, has announced she's left the Spice Girls.
But during those 2 years, the group made such a seismic impact. The history of pop music was transformed forever.
If you wanna be my lover.
This is the incredible story of the Spice Girls and the rise of their pop culture empire. Hello, Suzi Ruffell.
Hello, Josh Widdicombe.
Let me talk to you over the next few hours about the Spice Girls.
Oh, can't wait.
Were you a fan of the Spice Girls?
What do you think?
As a teenage lesbian, were you a fan of the Spice Girls?
Massively. Specifically Mel C. Let's go.
So what age were you in 1996 when they broke?
10.
Kind of 10 to 12 were the Spice Girls kind of imperial phase for you.
Yeah.
Did you love them then?
I adored them. I remember getting Wannabe on cassette
Yeah.
and just thinking it was the best video ever. I remember ringing up. Do you remember the box television you control, where you could ring them and get them to play?
Well, I didn't have that, but yes, I do know. I'm aware of it.
Because of Devon?
No, not because of Devon. Because my parents thought.
Because of your parents.
But because my parents thought by not having Sky, they'd bring down Rupert Murdoch, and it didn't quite work.
No, and now how much are you working for Sky? They must be delighted.
Not as much as I was 2 years ago. So you rang up to request Wannabe?
Yeah.
Didn't think they might play it anyway?
No, because you had to ring up the box
to
get the songs. So you'd ring them up, and I think you'd have to put a code in. And obviously I would have known the code off by heart.
Yeah.
I just thought they were so cool.
Yeah.
That's my overwhelming feeling of the Spice Girls. I just thought they were so cool, and I just wanted to be their friends.
Well, in 3 and a bit hours, you'll feel like you're their friends. What I want to do is, I was at the other end of the kind of spectrum in that I was a dull indie kid at this point. I was 13 to 15. I would have gone to war on the premise that Gomez were better than the Spice Girls because they played their own instruments, which I now know is an insane view.
Who are Gomez?
Exactly, Susie. Exactly.
They haven't stood the test of time.
And if we carry on this podcast for another 15 years, we still won't do 4 episodes on the story of Gomez. So tune out now if that's what you're here for. I think what's good is to start with some statistics to give you an idea of quite how dominating the Spice Girls were.
I mean, I don't need this information. This is for the listener, right?
Well, no, I think you do need this information because it's difficult to remember. The stats, Susie, what you've got to remember is between Wannabe being released and Jerry leaving, which we take to be the golden era of the Spice Girls, all this happened in less than 2 years.
Incredible.
So they sold over 100 million records globally. That makes them the best-selling girl group ever. 9 number one hits. Debut album went number one in 17 countries. Its lowest placing was Hungary, which reached number 10. And, you know, we've all seen what their politics is like now. They are the best-selling girl group of all time. I'm not saying the two things, reflect each other.
Yeah, are you sure?
Well, they did well in America, and we've seen what's happened there. At the time of recording, the UK is not looking brilliant. It's the best-selling girl group album of all time. It sold 31 million copies worldwide. 9 number one singles, first 4 consecutive releases. They matched the Beatles for 3 consecutive number one singles as well.
Yeah.
And that is in less than 2 years, most of that stuff.
That they just exploded. They were everywhere.
They were everywhere. We will cover how everywhere they were because it is mad. But I think you would struggle to find a band that in a space of 2 years did so much and had such an impact.
100%. And I think the thing is as well is that it was sort of the beginning of that girl band moment. And young girls were crying out for it.
Exactly, Susie. So let's start there because before the Spice Girls, it was a world of boy band, a dry old world of boy bands.
Yeah.
So if you talk to boring people, they often say this fact. They'll often go, do you know who the first boy band was? It was the Beatles, wasn't it? Yeah. Which,
I think you've said that to me before.
No, I haven't said that to you before. I would never say that. I would never say that to you.
I think you said the boy band and the Monkees.
No, right? So they kind of fulfilled that role in the sense of screaming young girls, in the sense of posters on the wall. Did posters exist in the 60s? I
think so. I think so. I think people have posters.
Invented the poster.
Athena, of
course. And that was in ancient Greece. So they've been around for ages. Like, there's a good quote, which is from a guy from Fader, like a proper music journalist called Sasha Geffen, who said there was no equivalent for straight teen boys, right, who may identify with male musicians but are not expected and encouraged to empathise with women in any way. So their thought was basically, if you have a boy band, they appeal to girls, but if you have a girl band, they don't appeal to boys, so it won't make any sense, which is obviously mental.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole kind of boy band revolution at that time started with New Kids on the Block, then you had Take That, E17, Boyzone, all the way through to Westlife, etc.
Yep.
And not only were they just boys, but they felt incredibly manufactured, these bands. And that was kind of fine in the 90s, I think. I think now your pop star is very much expected to write the songs or at least, write the lyrics. And so your Taylors or your Sabrinas or your Olivias or your Harry Styles.
Yes, absolutely.
But back then, it wasn't expected like that. Manufacturing was fine, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we love to see them play instruments. And as you say, Taylor Swift, she'll get on the piano, she'll get on the guitar. But we just didn't expect that from bands. I didn't.
Can you name any 90s girl bands before the Spice Girls?
I think All Saints were around before, but they didn't have a hit.
So there was 3 that I've got. Crush. I've never heard of Crush.
Never heard of Crush.
The TV presenter Donna Air was in Crush.
Oh, okay. Well, I remember Donna Air, of course.
Oh, yeah. They have one song, Jellyhead, that peaked at number 50. Then there was one that did quite well called Eternal.
Oh, Eternal. Yeah, they were brilliant.
Yeah, but they were quite kind of straight and vanilla. They were the opposite of the Spice Girls.
And they were quite gospel-y.
I think there was a lot of talk of singing in church, which I never think is rock and roll. No offence to Aretha Franklin.
They certainly came from more of a gospel route. They didn't feel poppy.
Don't let go, 'cause it's just a step from heaven.
So there was one band called Shampoo. Are you aware of Shampoo?
Oh, like not really, but it's the sort of thing that you would know in a pub quiz.
Thank you very much. So Shampoo were great, right? Shampoo were 2 London school friends, Jackie Blake and Carrie Askew, and you would know their big song from 1994, which was Trouble. Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I do.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Something's come along and it's burst our bubble. Yeah. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Gotta get home quick, march on the double.
So that was a big hit, right? They were the kind of Britpop girl band. That got to number 11. And it featured on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie as well, Suzi.
Wow. Do you think they're still making money from that?
Not enough.
I wonder what they're up to. I wonder what Jackie's up to.
I'd love to know.
Do write in.
Jackie. Do write in, Jackie. Do write in. So, I like Shampoo. A, because Trouble's a banger. B, because their next single was called Viva La Mega Babes.
Yeah. And you've always loved Mega Babes.
You've got to be on board with a song titled Viva La Mega Babes, no?
It's no Viva Forever, but...
Well... You think, right? You think, has Viva Forever been stolen off them? This will blow your mind. The week before the Spice Girls exploded, Shampoo released a song called Girl Power.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that astonishing?
How did Girl Power do?
So it got to number 25, Girl Power, the week before the Spice Girls came out.
Was that just something they said in an interview, do you think, Girl Power? Because it doesn't feature in Wannabe.
It doesn't feature in Wannabe, Suze. Are you saying it isn't a proper manifesto?
But what I'm saying is, do you think Girl Power was something that they had discussed in a meeting, in a dance studio, let's say? Or
in a dance, why not?
Well, I feel like that's where they were doing a lot of rehearsals. I've watched quite a lot of,
course.
Sort of, I was very into sort of what was happening backstage for the Spice Girls. I was interested.
What was happening backstage?
A lot of dance studios.
We'll come to who invented Girl Power, but if you'd like to place a bet on which of the 5 Spice Girls invented Girl Power now, then you can find out later.
Okay, I would say probably Mel B.
We will see. So, let's have a think about what the Spice Girls were up to. The 5 Spice Girls. Mm-hmm. If you aren't aware who the 5 Spice Girls are, some people might be introduced to the Spice Girls for the first time by this podcast. We've got Mel B, Mel C, Jerry, Emma, and Victoria.
Yes, but also known by their alter egos.
Yes.
Scary, Baby, Sporty, Posh, and...
Ginger.
Ginger, of course.
Yes. So, Mel B grew up in Leeds.
Mm-hmm.
She had a part-time job in telesales, and she was also a podium dancer at Yell Bar. This, just to be clear, is not a lap dancing club. It was just swimwear in waiters and waitresses.
Sure.
And she'd do Friday and Saturday nights. 4 hours. How much are you paying her, do you think?
Oh, £20? £5 an hour?
Bang on! Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you so across what podium dancers were paid in the North in 1995?
Well, listen, my dad had a car.
There you go.
That makes it sound like my dad's a perf. I was sort of suggesting that I would do it, but then I remembered I was 10.
It would have been a weird night out for you and your dad to head to Yell Bar to watch the soon-to-be-famous Mel B dancing. She danced on TV. She did the Bonnie Langford Show. She did Keith Harris and Orville's Quack Chat even, sorry. And she was an aerobics instructor.
Mm-hmm.
And if I could recommend one book today, it would be Mel B's To Catch a Fire, which is absolute gold dust. Did you have a favourite Spice Girls?
Yes, I would say Sporty, because that's always who I was.
Yeah.
I actually sent you a photo of myself this morning when we were talking about the Spice Girls, and I was very much a Sporty. A pair of Kappa trousers and a crop top.
I think by the end of this, your favourite will be Mel B.
Oh, okay. What's the book?
It's Mel B's memoir, or one of them.
Right.
So this is her take on being an aerobics instructor. I loved teaching from the start. At first, I taught mainly women. Bear in mind, Susie, this was written a while ago, okay?
Sure.
At first, I taught mainly women, and a lot of them were really massive.
Oh, okay.
And I used to be quite horrible to them. Because once I get on one, I can be really mean. I'd say things like, get your legs up, you fat cow, come on.
Why do you think she's going to become my favourite?
Well, stick with it, Suze.
You painted me in an absolutely dreadful light.
Trust me, you will grow to love Mel B over the next 4 episodes. She was crowned Miss Leeds.
Yeah, quite right.
And she says in her book, my prize was to use a car for a year, a brand new imported Renault Clio.
That's a good prize.
It's a good prize. Well, imagine what that's like to Mel B when she's on 20 quid a night.
Incredible.
So she said, I hadn't passed my test, so I couldn't drive it, even though I was itching to. For months, it sat there in the friggin' shop window staring at me, with Miss Leeds' weekly news and letters down the side. It took me 3 attempts to get my licence. Every time I got in the examiner's car, I'd think in an hour, I could be driving around in my very own Renault Clio. It's that kind of ambition that drives the Spice Girls, Susie.
It absolutely is.
And do you know what? Soon she'll be in the car of someone else, and that is Jerry. Jerry grew up in Watford. Before starting her music career, she was a dancer in Mallorca. Do you know she presented on Turkish television on Let's Make a Deal? She was like one of the kind of glamorous assistants on Turkish television.
Yes, I think I did know that because I have read her autobiography.
You've read her autobiography?
Years ago. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember an awful lot about it, but I do remember that there being photos in it of her on a sort of Turkish TV show being like the lovely assistant.
Yes, she was also a page 3 girl in The Sun at the age of 19. Not ideal.
God, that's young.
It is young, isn't it? It's mad, that, isn't it?
Page 3 feels absolutely insane now.
Of course it does.
But it's so recent.
It isn't as long ago as it should be.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When you're like, I'd say it was 10 years ago, probably. That's it.
Yeah, probably something like that, 10 or 11 years ago.
Before joining the Spice Girls, she kind of given up her hopes of making it as an actress or a singer. She wrote in her diary in 1994, I'm drifting aimlessly, unable to get on board. I want to, but it's spinning too fast. I have neither the will nor the energy. However, she watched a film that totally changed her life. What do you think that film was?
Was it Fame?
No. Let me give you a clue, right? This is her description of what the film made her realise. It made me realise that I should live each day as though it was my last. I should strive to be better and learn from my mistakes.
Oh my God, I've got no idea. Go on.
It was Groundhog Day, Susie.
Groundhog time.
1,000 people freezing their butts off waiting to worship a rat.
Great. A great film, sure.
It is a great film. But imagine Jerry Halliwell, as she was known then, sitting down watching Groundhog Day and going, that is how I should live my life.
Yes.
Like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day. And then she glances in the reflection of her bedroom mirror. She scolds herself for being so negative, and a scrap of newspaper catches her eye. I'm not embellishing this. This is all verbatim from Jerry. She had it taped to the mirror weeks earlier. It was a tearing from the stage for an audition for an all-girl band that was put together. It was the advert for the audition for shampoo. No, it was the advert for the audition for the Spice Girls. Yeah, isn't that amazing? So she watched Groundhog Day and it just changed her life completely.
That's incredible.
Victoria grew up in Hertfordshire. She was in a pop group called Persuasion in college. She hasn't got as checkered a career as Mel B, as interesting a career as Mel B and Jerry Halliwell beforehand. The main thing that kind of comes up is that she was in a sex education program for the BBC called Body Matters. where she dressed up as a white blood cell on roller skates. It's nice to know, isn't it? It's nice to know. Mel C, you'll know this. She grew up in Widnes in the northwest. She trained in ballet. She was a dancer. She did the West End, Blood Brothers. Her mum was a singer in the 70s, signed to Decca.
Yes. Did she not do Blood Brothers? Oh, did she do it as a kid?
Yeah.
Because I saw her in Blood Brothers post Spice Girls.
Well, you do Blood Brothers once on the way up and once on the way down, Susie. That's how it works, isn't it?
I forgot. Yeah, her mum was a singer. That's right. Because her mum was like a club singer as well. Like, I think that's where her drive came from, because she used to watch her mum go out to gigs.
And she knew she wanted to be a part of it. Whereas Emma grew up in Barnet. Her mum, Pauline, not to brag, but she does follow me on Instagram and we occasionally DM.
What, Pauline or Emma?
Pauline Bunton.
Oh my God.
What's wrong with that?
Just that you're, a tea time mum's favourite.
Well, Pauline, before you ever go at her, is a karate instructor.
I'm not having a go at Pauline. I think she's a legend.
It sounds like you're having a go at Pauline.
A Spice Girl.
Pauline's a karate instructor and Trevor, her dad, was a milkman. That is what you want.
Yes.
So do you know why Emma nearly didn't end up in the Spice Girls? Because she got down to the last few to play Bianca in EastEnders.
Oh, really?
The iconic role of Bianca Jackson.
Patsy Palmer could have been in the Spice Girls.
There could have been 2 Ginger Spices. I just missed out on playing Bianca in EastEnders. I was down to the last 4. I was devastated. Not long after that, a singing teacher recommended I try out for Touch, soon to be the Spice Girls, and the rest was history.
Yeah, in a big way.
So the band formed basically from an advert in the Stage. This advert is brilliant because it says wanted on a kind of what I would describe as a clip art version of a scroll.
Yep.
Are you, the letters are you, 18 to 23 with the ability to sing stroke dance? Are you streetwise, outgoing, ambitious and dedicated? You are the kind of person who maybe would have gone to the audition for Touch, Susie. Is that unfair?
I'm certainly the kind of person that when I was 15 used to get the Stage.
And what was the Stage?
I mean, it still exists. It's a newspaper about, I think these days it's less used for auditions, but there used to be in the back of it pages and pages of auditions from everything from like, we need a dancer for a bar to there's an open call for the chorus line. It would have absolutely everything in, but now it would be something, I mean, it's a really good, like well-respected newspaper within the sort of theatre world. So it would have stuff that's coming up, it would have reviews, it would have like announcements about theatre takeovers and things like that.
What's a theatre takeover?
Oh, if a show was closing and it was like, Sound of Music's closing and going in is going to be Avenue Q or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. Oh, it sounds very important. So this is the advert, right? And they hold open auditions. 400 singers turn up.
That's not that many, actually.
It's not, is it? When you think about what riches were on the end of it. And when you think about those cues at X Factor.
Yeah, I mean, less than 1 in 100 chances.
It doesn't feel many, does it? And there are 395 people currently walking around the planet.
But I imagine it must be very hard for the people that were almost a Spice Girl.
Well, we will come to that because they cram into there, right? They're split into groups of 10. They're taught to dance to Eternal's Stay. Afterwards, they each have to perform a solo song to the father and son management duo, Bob and Chris Herbert.
The Herberts.
Perfect names. Mel B does Whitney Houston's The Greatest Love of All. Mel C does The Pointer Sisters, I'm So Excited. Victoria, I don't know what this is, Susie, you'll know what this is. Mine Her from Cabaret.
Yeah, it's a song from a musical. That's a really rogue choice.
Emma doesn't audition at this point. She isn't one of the 400 that auditioned. And you may notice Jerry hasn't auditioned at that point either. A month later, 10 girls are invited back. Jerry is suddenly there as well.
Right, okay.
Do you know how Jerry avoided the initial audition?
No, I don't. But I feel like, did she just like turn up at the record company's door?
It does feel like the thing she'd do. No, she was so sunburned from a holiday to Spain that she couldn't attend. So Victoria says she just said she was ill and pleaded to be fast-tracked to the recall. Jerry says my face had swelled up until I looked like the Elephant Man. That is the words of Jerry Halliwell.
Wow.
So who do you believe in that situation? I don't think I'm fast-tracking someone through at that point, am I?
Oh, God, no. Surely not.
Sunburnt isn't a problem, right?
Sunstroke?
Oh, come on. Come on. So during her audition, Chris asked Jerry how old she was. This is a big thing, obviously, at the time. What do you reckon she replied at that?
She was older than the rest of the girls, wasn't she? Was she about 25, 26?
She replied, I'm as old or as young as you want me to be.
Yeah, classic Jerry.
Mel B says of Jerry, no one knows how old she is. See, you're coming round to Mel B. So Jerry always kept her passport close to her chest. She wouldn't let anyone see her passport because obviously they're going through passport control all the time. Mel B said, no one knows how old Jerry is. No one's seen her passport. I mean, we've travelled the world, but I still don't know how old she is.
That's so funny.
Mel B and Jerry are really the two kind of big personalities. So when
massively.
They meet the first time at that second audition. When we finished dancing, this is Mel B, I noticed a girl standing by the door. Come on over, Jerry, said Chris with a wave of his arm. She looked like a mad, eccentric nutter from another planet. It's a good book, Suze. It's a good book. I looked at her and I thought, my God, you look like a freak. Her voice was really penetrating. I thought my voice was loud, but when I heard hers, I thought, oh my God.
Wow.
Jerry was the worst dancer I've ever seen in my life. I think my mum could have danced better than Jerry could. She had no rhythm at all.
Oh my God.
How would you feel if someone wrote that about you?
Well, first of all, I'd say you're a massive liar. I probably wouldn't say anything. I'd probably just have a little cry.
Yeah.
What would you say if people said that about you on Strictly?
I'd say it's a fair comment on the dancing. I don't feel like I'm a mad eccentric nutter from another planet.
Oh, no.
Even on my worst days.
Even on your worst days, you're not that guy.
But they bonded, because at the end of the audition, Jerry says, I'll drop you off at the station if you like. I got into a little green Fiat Uno and we began chatting away. It was weird. We instantly felt like old friends.
If Mel B is saying that about someone that she considers an old friend, can you imagine what she says about her enemies?
Well, you don't want to be Eddie Murphy. You don't want to be Eddie Murphy. So all four are selected in the band. And this is the thing. There was a fifth person originally in the band that we don't know about, Susie. Did you know this?
Yes, I did. I do remember there being another person. I can't remember anything about her.
Oh, my God.
But could you imagine being her?
Well, exactly. That's tough, isn't it? It's being Pete Best in the Beatles.
It's like Siobhan from the Sugar Babes.
I'd say it's worse. I'd say it's more.
It is
financially.
More. Yeah.
If I had been in the Spice Girls, admittedly,
it would be a surprise to all of us.
It would have affected the chemistry.
Yeah.
If I was the 13-year-old, big boobs or not.
Yeah.
Do you think the Spice Girls, if I'd been the fifth one, would have been as successful? Or do you think it would have been weird?
I think it would have been weird, Josh.
Yeah. I think they'd have focused too much on the 13-year-old boy who was stood at the end of the line.
I think it would have been a focus puller, sure.
Which is interesting, because I would have had less charisma than all of them, but more attention.
I don't know. I think you might have more charisma than Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Not when I was 13, though.
Well, I don't know.
Is charisma an ongoing thing, or does it go up and down? I don't know.
Are you born with a certain amount of charisma? I don't know.
Is that set? Is that genetic, or can you increase your charisma?
Can you think of anyone that we know that's got more charismatic?
I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Because if we were to take the Spice Girls, I think their charisma has held.
Yes.
I don't think their charisma has changed. But we've only encountered them as grown-ups. But there. Michelle Stevenson was the fifth Spice Girl.
What's she doing now?
She was 17 at the time. Victoria says she's the sort of girl you can imagine in a Flake advert. Is that catty or is that a compliment?
I think that's a compliment.
Yeah.
Isn't that just saying she was really beautiful?
I suppose so, yeah. I think.
Or was she a bunny?
No, that's the caramel.
Oh, sorry. Okay, as you were.
Do you know who the voice of Cadbury's Caramel Bunny is? Bit of an aside, bit of trivia. Miriam Margolyes. There you go.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're not here for that. We're not here for that, Susie. So those five go to form the group, okay? And the managers are Chris and Bob Herbert.
Right.
You know, sound incredibly exciting in showbiz names. So they're the management teams, and they're together. They're funded by a man called Chick Murphy. Chick spelled C-H-I-C. Maybe it's Chic Murphy. I don't know.
I guess we'll never know.
We'll never know. So Bob, the dad, is an accountant, but he was an accountant for cabaret clubs and music performers. and Chris is his son, and Chris says, I'd wake up, I'd come down to breakfast, and the 3 degrees would be at the table talking to Dad.
Wow.
And Chris went to school with Bros.
Gosh, Chris, what a life.
It's exciting, isn't it? Yeah. So 3 degrees are at his breakfast table, then he goes to school and there's Bros.
Yeah, what?
He's got a window into whether charisma starts at school or whether you get it as an adult. He could see it there.
I wonder if Chris will get in touch.
Do, Chris, because he goes on. Well, we'll see what he goes on to do. So I don't want to give it away.
Sorry.
Matt and Luke Goss, Craig Logan, they used to go round to the Herbert house to practice, right? And Bob saw their potential and Bob starts managing Bros. Chris is a young entrepreneur. Is there any worse words in the world? So he was at college, right? And he went paintballing, which was a novelty in those days. And he says, my lecturer invited me. This is quite weird. And I don't want to have a go at Chris Herbert because he's done very well for himself. This says, I've got no mates.
Okay, go on.
This is about paintballing. He says, my lecturer invited me, and what I was doing was counting the pellets. They were 10p each. And I thought, there's money in this. The next day, I said to my lecturer, I enjoyed that. But more important, they're coining it in. Let's set up a paintball site. So he starts a paintball site with his lecturer.
That's weird.
So him and his lecturer go into business as paintball impresarios. And they end up with 2 of the biggest paintball centres in the UK, right?
Fair play.
But then 2 things here. The bottom falls out of the paintballing market. A twin combo of the recession.
Of course, paintballing's always the first thing to go.
Exactly, of course. That's what they say, isn't it? It's a luxury we could do without.
Yep.
And what's worse than the recession for paintballing? The Gulf War absolutely destroys the paintballing market because no corporate entertainment budgets and people don't want to pretend to be at war in the middle of a war.
I think that's fair.
So he goes to his dad, Chris, rather than his lecturer. He writes off his lecturer, goes to his dad, says, I want to get into the music industry, but I can't get a job with a record company. Let's set up a music management company and break an act.
He was a young entrepreneur.
He was. And if we've identified anything, he doesn't have any friends his own age.
No, but he doesn't lack confidence. So fair play to him.
He doesn't lack confidence. So when he managed the Spice Girls, he was 22.
Wow.
Isn't that mental? And it was Chris's idea. He said at the time, boy bands saturated the market. I thought a girl band, sassy, sexy and well put together, could be more successful because it would appeal to female and male listeners. You'll double your audience. So he is not just a genius of the paintball world. He is the man that came up with the idea of the Spice Girls, basically in his early 20s.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Chick Murphy, who's the man managing the Spice Girls, Mel B describes him as a cigar-smoking old guy with white hair. Hello, girls. Nice to meet you. Looked like something out of an East End gangster film, although you could imagine he'd been really good looking when he was younger. Jerry says Chick looked like an endearing old rogue. He claimed to have once managed one of the 3 degrees, the famous one. And Chick said his view on the Spice Girls is you've got to think that if you can get 5 ordinary English girls, girl next door type, and at least the girls might buy the records and the boys might buy the records. I don't know whether the boys did buy the records. Do you think they cut through with the boys?
I think the gay boys, sure.
But there's this implication in what Chick's saying and what Chris Herbert said that boys would buy it because they fancied the Spice Girls in the same way girls would be into boy bands. I don't think it worked like that, did it?
No, I don't think so. I feel like, to go off on a tangent just briefly, there's sort of a weird link to comedy. Certainly years ago when we were sort of starting out, that I remember people saying to me, oh, the thing is with male comedians is that women think they're sort of cool because they're the funny boys and guys kind of like the idea of being them.
Yeah.
And then with female comedians, women like them, but sometimes men don't. That has, I think, massively changed now.
But you still wouldn't get teenage boys if you go and watch Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Or you go and watch Sabrina Carpenter, or you go and watch Olivia Rodrigo. It is girls generally.
Yes.
And me, part of the 0.7.
Yeah, I saw that. God, you love Sabrina Carpenter. Is that your daughter or is it you?
No, I think the album, Short and Sweet, is the best album of the last 25 years.
Oh, wow.
I mean, this is for another day, but it is so good. It is hit after hit. I think she's just the best songwriter since maybe ever.
No. Do you love her?
No, I actually find her a little intimidating.
But that's how you like your women.
That's how I like it. I want to feel like I'm scared.
Yeah. I was at your wedding.
Yeah, exactly. Can I just say, were I in a position where I was just dating Sabrina Carpenter,
Yeah.
I think I'd be so scared she was going to turn my substandard sexual performance into a song that I would bottle it.
That's what the song would be called.
Yeah, it'd be called Bottle It, and it would be awful. I'd feel worse about my life than we imagined Michelle Stevenson felt in about 1997.
Back to the Spice Girls, go on.
Back to the Spice Girls. Another 5 women I find incredibly intimidating.
So you fancy them all?
No, I don't.
That's your kink.
That's my kink.
Be open about it, Josh. It's fine.
That's why I don't fancy you.
You said it's because you see me like a sister.
So they get the band, the 5 band, which is not Emma yet, it's Michelle.
Yeah.
And they put them in a house in Surrey for a week so they can kind of practice their vocals and chemistry. Mel B, this sums it up. It was a brilliant week. One night we decided to go to the pictures. I wasn't feeling great because I was on antibiotics for my eye infection and they were making me queasy. On the way there, I developed a weak bladder and we had to keep stopping the car. Then I was sick on someone's lawn. As I vomited my guts up, I could hear the other girls laughing and taking the piss. Suddenly, I realised something. They weren't disgusted or embarrassed that I was spilling my insides. They thought it was funny. They were taking the piss, like mates do. We had become friends.
That is lovely, actually.
I kind of love that. That is kind of the spirit of the Spice Girls in the sense of there's absolutely no shits given.
Yes, and I think that's
why they intimidate me.
Of course. And I think that most people have that moment, whether it be like Freshers Week, you know, where you know that people are your friends and there is something massively exciting about that. And I think that is what the Spice Girls sold. It was friendship.
Exactly.
Like, yes, I like the songs, but what I really wanted to be was their friend. That's what I really wanted.
So did Chris Herbert, because he didn't have any friends of his own age.
Well, of course. He was hanging out with his teacher and his dad and one of the 3 degrees. 1 degree.
1 degree. Poor old Chris Herbert. So, also, there is someone going around who's got a story about a car stopping and a young woman throwing up on their lawn while her 4 friends kind of mocked her, that doesn't realise they were part of pop history.
We're all minor parts in other people's big stories.
We're all minor parts. What a beautiful thing to say, Susie.
You know.
What a beautiful thing to say. After the showcase, Chris offers the girls a proposal.
Please be my friend.
Please be my friend. Can we hang out? I could throw up. Chic has a vacant house in Maidenhead. Would they like to live in it? So they all move to a house in Maidenhead. Jerry says our neighbours were an elderly couple on one side and a fireman and his pothead mate on the other.
Wow.
I like that they're really schooled in like just British suburbia. That's how this starts out. It's just absolutely. Yes. There's only 3 bedrooms. How would you split the girls in those 3 bedrooms?
I would guess.
Remember, it's Michelle and not Emma at this stage.
Yes, of course. I would say that Victoria would have got her own room.
That's what you'd think, isn't it? Victoria actually shared with Michelle.
Oh.
The main room went to the 2 Melanies.
Yeah.
And Jerry had the box room to herself because in Mel B's view, Jerry was put in a little cubby hole because no one could stand to sleep in the same room as her.
Oh my God, does Mel B hate Jerry?
No, she loves her. This is how she talks about someone she's got deep affection for.
Wow, gosh.
She's Scary Spice, remember?
Sure.
She says of Jerry, our mine was just too hyperactive and eccentric. She was so specific about everything. She just seemed like a bit of a loon. And if you want an image of how they lived, on the second night we discovered a salad bar at the local Pizza Hut. It cost £2.50 to stuff your face. So that's what they lived on.
I mean, I used to love the Pizza Hut buffet.
Oh, it was great, wasn't it?
So good.
But to go in and just order the salad for £2.50 is heartbreaking with that smell.
If only they knew, you know, in just a couple of years, they'd be able to afford a pizza.
They'd be able to afford a pizza.
Introducing the all-new Pizza Hut Salad Station. Over 25 delicious new ingredients to discover. For a salad you can really make a meal of. Pizza Hut. Get together.
Jerry would drive them around in her car. In 1 year, they had 7 crashes.
Oh my gosh.
So to give you an example of a crash, Mel B says she hit the curb on the way to Trinity Studios once the car skidded off the road and swerved into a muddy ditch. Oh my God, the rest of us shouted. But Jerry revved up, drove back onto the road, and we went on our way again. It's really exciting, the thought of the Spice Girls before they were famous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Salad, pizza, buffet, just driving around, being sick on lawns.
The thing is, as well, is because all of this happened pre-social media. If this was a band now, they would have to document all of it. But there would have been such a freedom. And it would have been so exciting. So exciting.
And also, whoever came up with the idea of like putting them in the house, which I think was Chris, that's really shrewd because it means that while they have been put together, the Spice Girls felt like a gang of friends, and that's because they've lived together.
Yeah.
And they're like living this weird little life. And if they'd been put in London, maybe they'd have been out seeing other friends and stuff. But because they're in Maidenhead, they're forced to kind of go to Pizza Hut together. No disrespect to Maidenhead. It's very, very nice. It's not where you'd be as a 22-year-old girl band generally.
No.
So they lay down some ground rules of being in the Spice Girls.
Okay.
They're the same with our relationship, I think, Susie.
Okay.
Rule 1, if anyone has a problem, they speak up or they shut up.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Rule number 2, we do not let boyfriends get in the way.
Yep. You and I have always said that.
Rule number 3, we make all decisions together.
Mm-hmm.
And rule number 4, all expenses are shared.
Oh, I think this is great.
Yeah. Do they mean profits or do they mean they must? Or is it like expensive? I suppose there's no profits at that stage.
No, I think they're saying, like, you know, we all put in a kitty to go and do the big shop.
Yeah, to go to Pizza Hut.
To get the salads.
Their eating habits are quite interesting. So Mel B says of Victoria, she ate nothing but breadsticks and dips.
Yeah, I don't think that's changed.
If I'm on a health kick, so to speak, Susie, I'd try and avoid breadsticks and dips.
No, when you're on a health kick, you have Linda McCartney sausages and broccoli and nothing else.
I do. It's really depressing.
Yeah.
But Mel B says, I can picture her now sitting in a chair on the right side of the front room with a bowl of dips in her hand all night. She'd watch TV, sucking her thumb and clutching a white furry rabbit toy. Strange. Not my words, the words of Mel B. She's added the strange herself.
I'm agreeing with her. Sucking her thumb as an adult?
Pathetic.
Deeply cringe.
Mel B's discussion of Victoria Beckham. She says, she told me as soon as we first met, I can't wear flat shoes because they hurt my feet.
Wow.
That's a life lived, isn't it?
Yes.
So then Michelle leaves the band. So it soon becomes clear she's not fitting in with the rest of the group. They don't think she's as dedicated as they are. She comes from a middle-class family. She's got a place at university. And this is the worst. She's got a part-time job at Harrods, of all things.
I'm just so fascinated to Michelle's life. So was she at uni when the Spice Girls blew up?
Well,
because that would be absolutely insane.
She was at university at the time, I think. She said that she was the intelligent one, as it were. They all thought I was smart Spice. Jerry said she lacked the same intensity or enthusiasm to learn. Privately, here's a slam, we called her the Gary Barlow of the group.
Oh, so she was writing all the music.
The talented one, you mean?
Yeah.
No, Jerry means, i.e. the one who couldn't really dance.
Wow, God, wait until Jerry finds out what Mel B said about her. God, if Jerry thought she couldn't dance, she really couldn't dance.
She must have been bad. So, Jerry says, unfortunately, without consulting us, Chick, Bob and Chris had decided that Michelle didn't quite fit.
Oh, so she didn't leave. She got the heave-ho.
That's what Jerry says. Mel B says, one night the rest of us had a talk and decided that Michelle wasn't right for the group. Then we discussed it with Bob and Chris and they agreed. So there is a dispute whether the girls were involved in the decision. She was 17 years old when she joined the band. She said she was not happy in the band. It was not the kind of music I wanted to be doing. It was very, very pop. She says, of course, I regret I'm not a multimillionaire like them. But at the time I left the group, I knew I was doing the right thing, and I still think it was the right thing. It's a really difficult one, that, isn't it?
Well, it is a story you'd have to tell yourself. You would have to tell yourself every day, I made the right decision.
If you were the non-Spice Girl, would you be all right?
Oh, I mean, Josh, I don't know. Am I all right now?
No, actually, no. I suppose what I'm saying, Susie, is would you be better than you are now?
I think it would be really hard. I think, you play that oh, if I had got that job, or if I had done that thing, but you and I still live in a world where we do what we love for a job.
Yeah, I know.
And I think if you had always wanted that and then you didn't, I think it must be really hard.
But she didn't like the music. And it's difficult, isn't it? Because you go, all I needed to do was kind of hold it out doing this thing I hate for 2 years and I'd have become a multi. But it's you don't know at that stage.
Of course.
So Emma replaces Michelle.
Yeah.
Emma's done like Sylvia Young Theatre School, which is the big one, wasn't it? She'd done child modelling. She'd done Grange Hill. She has been in EastEnders, just not as Bianca. She doesn't audition. She's just put straight in on a 6-week trial.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mel B writes, we went to pick her up at Maidenhead Station in Jerry's battered old green theatre. You know, there it is again. Hello, old friend.
I mean, how strange to be picked up by the girls, to be like, oh, you're joining a band for 6 weeks.
I know. Imagine that. She's getting off the train. It's like kind of a scene from kind of The Railway Children or something.
Are you suggesting she's dressed like an evacuee?
In my head, she's dressed like an evacuee. And it's a steam train. Even though it's 1995 or whatever it is, for some reason it's a steam train to Maidenhead.
Is she wearing a duffel coat saying, please look after this bear?
Yeah, please look after this bunton. Please look after this baby. As the train pulled up, we began to get excited. What's she going to look like? What's she going to be like? It's amazing. It's like so mad, that reveal. Jerry instantly moved into mature motherly mode. Everyone stay calm, okay? We'll see her in a minute. Jerry could be really annoying at times.
Oh my gosh. Mel B.
So, Suze,
yes.
That's where we are. They're waiting on the platform for Emma Bunton, and they will meet Emma Bunton next time. Are you excited?
I'm very excited, but, you know, I'm being Jerry in my head and saying, just calm down. We'll see her in a minute.
So, Susie, we're going to leave it there. Next time, we will find out what the meeting with Emma Bunton is like, if they get on, if she becomes part of the band, spoiler. We will enjoy their pre-fame Maidenhead flat share. We'll find out the big question, which one shits with the door open? And also, incredibly, before becoming famous, they sacked poor old Chris, the manager. That is coming up in the next episode in a few days. If you want to listen to it now, you can join the Museum of Pop Culture fan club, where you get all those episodes right now. museumofpopculture.supportingcast.fm. Or if you can't remember that, because I've said it very fast, in the episode description, just click on the link. That's what I do. Should we have a clip to wet our whistle? Sometimes Jerry and I went to bed on a Saturday afternoon, woke up at around 2 a.m, got dressed and went on an all-nighter at Ministry of Sound. So far, so good?
Oh, yeah, it's quite fun.
We used to drive down the motorway with our boobs out for a laugh. And remember, you can get all the episodes of this series right now, at museumofpopculture.supportingcast.fm.